TinkerCAD tips. The other day I dropped a little teaser video about this birdhouse I made in TinkerCAD, and I had a couple people comment asking how it was made, and I said that if I had, at least a couple, 3 comments, I would come and do some tutorials on this. So this is probably going to span over 2, possibly 3 tutorials. There's several techniques we're going to use here, SVGs, and then also how to make these plastic screws, these 3D printed screws, and the holes that go along with them. So, with that being said, let's get started. Let me select all of this, Control A, let's move it up out of the way. Now, the first thing we're going to do is make this triangular shape. Now, here, this is the bed for my CR10. This is 300 by 300. If your bed is smaller, you're going to have to make these a little bit smaller. So let's start by dragging out a cylinder here. I'm going to move in a bit. I'm going to hit Alt-Shift. I'm going to click on one of these corners, and I'm going to change this to 60 millimeters. I'm going to change the height to just 1 millimeter for now. And over here, I'm going to change the number of sides so that it's as smooth a circle as possible. All right, now to make things a little bit easier here, I'm going to do everything in multiples of 10 millimeters. Right now I have my snap grid set to 1 millimeter, so while I have this selected, I'm going to hit Control D or duplicate, and then holding down the Shift key, I'm going to nudge this over. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and you see we move over here, and I want it about there. I want to make sure this all fits on the bed of my printer. I'm going to select the both of these, and for now, I'm going to bundle group them together. So that's Control B. Now what I want to do here is I want to know what the overall length of this is. It's 230. So I'm going to bring out a rectangle here, and I want this to go from the midpoint of this circle to the midpoint of this circle. So the easiest way to do this is a little bit of math. I said this was 230 millimeters minus 60, which is the diameter of these circles. So I'm going to click on this. We're going to make this 170, and I'm going to drop it down to 1 millimeter. All right, now I'm going to Shift select on those 2 circles, that bundle group. L for align. I'm going to click on the circles to keep them where they're at. I'm going to center that, and then I'm going to click this midpoint or this edge here. So you see now that this rectangle lines up with the center point of this circle and right on the edge. Same with this one over here. Now I'm going to lasso select both of those, and I'm going to bundle group those together as well for now. Control B. Now I need to make the other 2 sides. The easiest way to do this is to make a duplicate of it. I'm going to click on Rotate here, and I'm going to do 120 degrees. That's 1/3 of 360. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to Shift select on the bottom one, L for align. I'm going to click on this bottom one here to make it the master so it's not going to move. We're going to align that way and that way. There we go. We got that side. We're going to do the same thing again. Click on this, Control D to duplicate. We're going to do negative 120. There we go. Select that. I'm going to select that one. L for align. I'm going to select this one here to make it the master. Align to that edge and to that edge. There we go. All 3 of those are lined up nicely. So now I'm going to lasso select all of those, and I'm going to group those together, union group. So that's Control G. Or we can use this up here, union group. All right, now we're going to convert this into an SVG, because with an SVG we can take some advantages of the dialogue or the features that you can use with an SVG. So while this is selected, I'm going to click on Export, SVG. Can I just have it called Copy of Birdhouse? That's fine for now. Let's go ahead and move this out of the way. Let's click on Import. Choose File. We're going to select that same SVG. I'm going to click on Art. Not going to change the size at all. Click on Import. We'll give that a moment to come in. There it is. Let's go ahead and change the height of this. We're going to make this 3 millimeters. We want this to be fairly thick, the back of it. Let's change it to yellow. Now, what we want to do is to have this all filled in. So I'm going to click on that, and over here in the dialog, instead of default, I'm going to change this to silhouette, and I'm going to increase the quality to about the midpoint. So that gives us our basic shape here that we're going to use for the rest of making the shell for this birdhouse. Now this part back here we don't need anymore. Let's zoom in. Let's make a duplicate of this. Well, let's do the sides of this for now. I'm going to hit Control-D to duplicate. Now on this one, I want to change the fill mode to outer line. I want the corners to be round. And I want the width of these sides to be 5 millimeters. We're going to take advantage of that, and we want that for strength of this birdhouse as well. The height of this we can increase. This will become our sides. You can set this to whatever height you want. Let's make it 100 millimeters for now. Just a nice round number. There we go. Those are our sides. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to make an inset lip around this, and we're going to make the front part of it. So for that, we're going to come back here. We're going to select that back. I'm going to hit Control-D, and for now I'm going to drag that over here. And we're going to make a second copy of that. So Control-D again. And I'm going to bring that over here. Now what we want to do is to make a hole shape that'll cut a lip or an edge into this shell here. So let's make these fronts, these holes, let's make these 4 millimeters. Same thing with this one over here. We'll make it 4 millimeters. Now we'll go back to this one. Now we want to do a duplicate of this, Control-D, and we want that duplicate to be outer line, and we want it to be half of the width of that wall. So that wall is 2.5 millimeters, so we'll do 2.5, but we want to build in a tolerance here, so we need to make this hole shape a little bit larger. So we're going to make this one 2.6. Now on this one here, which will be the actual front, we're going to do something similar. We're going to make a duplicate. We're going to change that to outer line, but we're going to make it just 2.5. Okay, we're going to group the two of those together. Union group, that's Control-G. We're going to come over here. We're going to group those two together. Union group, Control-G. And we're going to turn that into a hole. We want to make one more here. Well, we're going to have to come back for part 2 here. So, hope you enjoyed this one. Happy tinkering. As always, drop me some comments, like, follow, repost. We'll see you on the next one. Happy tinkering.